What if I told you that you could actually hack your brain to crave studying? Like the same way it craves scrolling through social media. It sounds kind of crazy, right? But it's totally possible, and we're going to break down exactly how to do it. I mean, let's be real. You've been there, I've been there. You sit down, you're totally determined to get some work done, and then suddenly your phone feels like it has its own gravitational pull. Why is that? Why can one thing feel so completely effortless while the other feels like climbing Mount Everest? Well, the answer to that question, the entire reason for that struggle, it really just comes down to one powerful little chemical in your brain: dopamine. Yeah, the whole battle for your attention, it's all happening right there. So think of your brain kind of like a heat seeking missile, and dopamine, that's the target. It is constantly, and I mean constantly, scanning your environment for the quickest, easiest way to get that little hit of pleasure, that little ping of reward. And this is where the problem starts. Social media is basically a dopamine feast. It's an all-you-can-eat buffet. Every single swipe gives you something new, something novel, a funny video, a surprising piece of news, a cute puppy, all in a split second. It's low effort and a constant drip of reward. But studying, well, that's more like a healthy, home-cooked meal. The reward is way off in the future, and it takes a ton of effort and focus. So for your brain, the choice is obvious. It's going to go for the feast every time. Okay, so that's the problem. Sounds a little bleak, right? But here's the good news. There is a solution. It's a two-part strategy, and it's designed to literally rewire the very circuits in your brain that are working against you right now. First things first, before we can even think about making studying more appealing, we actually have to make everything else a little less exciting. It's all about resetting the scale of what your brain even considers rewarding in the first place. Think about it this way. Right now, your brain's pleasure scale is totally out of whack. It's so used to the constant high-intensity stimulation from your phone that something quiet and slow, like reading a book, it just doesn't even register anymore. It's like you've been listening to music at full blast, and now you can't hear a whisper. We need to turn down the volume so your brain can appreciate the quiet again. So how do we actually do this? With something I like to call a mini dopamine detox. And don't worry, it's way simpler than it sounds. All you have to do is find just 15 minutes in your day for complete and total boredom. That means no phone, no music, no podcasts, no distractions. Nothing. Just sit there with your own thoughts. Seriously, stare at a wall if you have to. It sounds ridiculously simple, but it is one of the most powerful things you can do to get your focus back. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. The first few times you do this, it's going to feel awful. It will be excruciatingly boring. Your brain is going to scream at you for some kind of stimulation. But that feeling, that's the feeling of withdrawal, and that's how you know it's actually working. You're teaching your brain that it doesn't need constant entertainment. And after a little while, you'll start to notice that simpler things, smaller rewards, they start to feel good again. Okay, so lowering your baseline is only half the battle. That's step one. Now for the really fun part. We need to flip the script on studying itself. We have to actively find ways to make the act of learning more rewarding, to make it deliver its own hits of dopamine. And this all starts with a huge mindset shift. Instead of looking at your textbook like it's some kind of torture device, you have to start seeing it as a treasure map. See, your brain is naturally curious. It actually loves to solve puzzles and learn new things. So you need to frame studying not as a chore you have to do, but as a cool adventure to feed your brain's natural hunger for knowledge. And here are some super practical, easy ways to do that. First, break your work down into tiny, bite-sized chunks. That little feeling of satisfaction you get from checking something off a list, that's a real dopamine hit, and we're going to use it. Next, turn studying into a game. Try the Pomodoro technique. Set a timer for 25 minutes of intense focus, followed by a 5-minute break. Your brain loves a finish line. Oh, and here's one of my favorites. Try teaching the concepts out loud, even if it's just to your empty room. The act of explaining something solidifies it in your mind, and that feeling of mastery is a huge dopamine trigger. Even little things help, like using colored pens to make your notes more visually interesting. And finally, and this might be the most important one, make it personal. Find a way to connect what you're learning to your own life, to your own interests. Because when something is relevant, it becomes interesting, and interest is the master key to unlocking dopamine. Okay, we have covered a lot of ground, the why and how. So let's boil it all down. What is your immediate action plan? How do you actually start this transformation, like today? It all starts incredibly small. Today, just try one 15-minute session of pure boredom. That's it. That's your only job for today. Then tomorrow, try one focused 25-minute study block. Just one. After a couple of weeks of doing this consistently, I promise you will start to feel a real, tangible shift in your ability to focus. And in a month, you might honestly find yourself actually craving the challenge, reaching for your books instead of your phone. So here's the main thing I want you to remember. Your brain isn't broken. You're not lazy. It's just been hijacked by systems that are literally designed to do exactly that. But by resetting your dopamine baseline and actively making studying more rewarding, you take back the controls. You get to decide where your focus goes. The only question left is, are you ready to take back control?